Good evening and welcome to Menasha, Wisconsin, and we welcome you for American Legion Baseball here from Menasha. We're just about set here for first pitch on a Tuesday night. Great atmosphere with a decent crowd presence. We had a solid crowd presence for the 17U game, and we hope fans trickle back in for the 19U game between the Kaukauna Angels and the Appleton Double Days. Great to have you along. If you can comment here on the Zaleski Sports that you can hear from home, that would be much appreciated as we get closer to first pitch here from Menasha, Wisconsin. Should be a great game. Two of these teams. The Angels come in 5-2 in action. Double Days 4-5. The Angels have some get back after their tough game last week Wednesday, losing to New London 9-0 in a game that just a lot of things didn't go right for them. But the Double Days have had a solid game. These two met were in the same tournament in the Wisconsin Rapids tournament a few weekends ago. So we've got some similar opponents here as we're getting set from Menasha, Wisconsin. Again, if you please comment on the YouTube on Zaleski Sports, we appreciate you watching along, just to make sure the audio and video are good for your liking as we're getting close to first pitch. Great to have you along. My name is Miles Detroit, a solo show here today as I cover the Kaukauna Angels all summer long, as we're already down to the wire. Regionals is right around the corner, and both of these teams' seasons wrapping up shortly. Regionals come at the end of July, so it should be some fun baseball as we get to the home stretch. We're already 7 days into July. Should be a really fun remainder of the summer.
Batting eighth, playing left field, number 21, Nathan Hansen.
Coslow Park from Menasha, Wisconsin, as the sun sets at 8 p.m. first pitch time. Again, I say the Angels 5-2 overall coming into tonight, and the Double Days 4-5, and some great athletes on both teams. And like I said, the Angels coming off a rocky game last week, Wednesday, before the 4th of July holiday break. They lost 9-0 to New London. The Double Days, on the other hand, 4-5 overall, but honestly not a bad season for the talent that they have. They've been playing some really solid baseball. They beat Kimberly last night, as it says here on Game Changer, 11-9. Then they lost last week Wednesday, the last time Kaukauna played, to De Pere Varsity Legion, 5-12. So they're coming off a nice win, a little bit of momentum from last night. We'll have to see possibly a different starting lineup today for the Double Days, but no matter, it should be a really solid team. I mean, you're from out of Appleton, a Division I school, a solid Legion program. They're going to put up a run for Kaukauna's money here today. Again, I would truly appreciate a comment on the YouTube if you're tuning in, just to make sure if the audio and video is all good. My first time setting up alone today, so I have to give a shout out to Steve Maves for all his help making the scoreboard, the audio, making sure we had all that set. And I believe we're going to get a national anthem here from the park, so I'll take off the headset.
We ask that you please join us, direct your attention to the flag in center field as we honor America and those who protect our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. Good luck. Let's play ball.
We welcome you to Koslow Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. We're getting set for American Legion Baseball here on a Tuesday night between the Kaukauna Angels and the Appleton Doubledays. Great to have you along. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports. I'm Miles Detroit. So glad he could join us here tonight as the sun sets. A solid crowd presence here from the park and a great night for some American Legion Baseball. As I said in the pregame, if you missed it, the Angels come in 5-2 in action. The Doubledays 4-5. The Doubledays picking up a good win last night. And again, as I look for, I believe they took on Kimberly. I mentioned the pregame. Let's see, they faced Kimberly 3-4 earlier in June 15th. They played De Pere last night. They played De Pere last week Wednesday, and they did play Kimberly last night. So coming off a win last night, building some momentum to today. Winning that game 11-9, 20 combined total runs, and they look to do the same here today against the Kaukauna Angels with a solid defense and a solid offense. Angels look to pick up after a tough break on last week Wednesday before their holiday break, losing 9-0 in 6 innings after the rain cut them short. But no matter, just a game, they couldn't get anything going. They look to turn it around tonight. Appreciate my mom tuning in, telling me everything's all good, and my first time setting up here for Zaleski Sports. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Zaleski Sports, for allowing me to travel with the Angels all summer long. As I said in the pregame, we're getting closer and closer already to regionals. It feels like the summer just started, but after the 4th of July weekend, it truly is a breeze, and the school year is already knocking on the door. Should be a fantastic game here today from Koslow Park in Menasha, Wisconsin. Fans trickling back in after the 17U game as catcher Mason Winkler fires down. And we are just about set here for the first batter of Brady Schwalbach for the A's. Schwalbach, the center fielder for today.
Leading off, number 20, Brady Schwalbach.
Brady Schwalbach to start this here on a Tuesday night from Koslow Park. It'll be Pope on the mound for the Doubledays. First pitch on the way, and in our first pitch, it's going to be a hit batter. And wasting no time aboard early, it's Brady Schwalbach with a hit by pitch.
Next up, number 4, Aiden Moss.
What a way to start it. Brady Schwalbach gets aboard the hit by pitch, and now we'll step in Aiden Moss. Not a good start for Pope on the mound. Brady Pope, and it's spelled P-O-P-P, but believe it or not, it is Brady Pope, spelled what would be spelled P-O-P-E. Hopefully it won't catch me off guard today, but it'll be Brady Pope on the mound for the Doubledays, followed by in the infield left to right, Martin, Wyatt Schleter, Stieg, and Jack Schleter. 2 Schleters in the infield, left to right, Crownhart in the outfield, Ethan Winkler, and Laumer. So we have 2 balls, 0 strikes here to Aiden Moss after Schwalbach got aboard at the game's first pitch with a hit by pitch. Pope checks the shoulder, 2-0 on the way. Upstairs for ball 3. So not a great start here for Pope on his debut tonight. First pitch hit the batter of Schwalbach, and now 3 straight balls to start the at-bat for Moss. Moss in the infield at third base tonight. .30 pitch from Pope. Inside, but caught the zone for strike number 1. Good response from Pope, and he's got his first strike of the contest here tonight. Great press box here from Koslow Park, and great to have you along here on Zaleski Sports. Fifth pitch upstairs for ball number 4. So quickly the Angels get 2 aboard here, 2 batters, 2 on board, 1 in scoring position. And it's going to step up Mason Hildebrand.
Now batting number 2, Mason Hildebrand.
So good start for the Angels offense here. As I said, they look to have kind of a turnaround game here tonight after losing 9-0 to New London last week Wednesday before the 4th of July weekend. Just a game, it felt close, but just not a lot of things that went well for the Angels. And tonight, the perfect game to respond as the Double Days come off a back-to-back beating Kimberly last night, 11-9, 20 combined runs as the first pitch ball upstairs to Mason Hildebrand, shortstop for tonight. So he's got a good opportunity here with 2 on. Brady Schwalbach in scoring position as the A's seek the first run of the game. Second pitch. Check swing, but inside for ball 2. Hildebrand didn't bite, and it's a 2-0 count to Mason Hildebrand. The 3-hole hitter for the Kaukauna Angels here tonight. He's been a starter since the first day I covered the Angels, as their good response from Pope. Strike number 1. 2-1 count to Hildebrand. Pope looking to settle in after a rocky 2 first batters in this one. 2-1 pitch. This one chased at but sent into opposite ground, but foul. Over there's kind of the bushes surrounding. Kind of feels like Wrigley Field almost. The bushes surrounding the outfield and the foul ground kind of all over the park here at Koslow. Pope's got Hildebrand right where he wants him at a 2-2 count as the Double Days defense seeks out number 1 here in this inning number 1. That one missing for ball 3. Full count here to Hildebrand. With 2 aboard, pitch on the way from Pope. This one, good battle, but fouled off. Will it stay in play? It will not. Right to the right side of the Angels bench on the first base side. And the count stays at 3-2. Pope regathers here as well as the Double Days defense. As he steps back on the rubber. Another 3-2 pitch here momentarily to Mason Hildebrand coming from Pope. Here's the pitch. Inside and right in the hands of Mason Hildebrand, but fouled off out of play. The count stays again at 3-2. Thank you to our game day sponsors, Travel Leaders Discovery, Appleton Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. You're going to hear a lot about them as we work through the night here on a Tuesday night from Koslow Park. Full count. Got him. Caught the outside of the zone and a backwards K to Mason Hildebrand for out number 1.
Now batting number 17, Carson Gates.
So first strikeout of the night for Pope. Steps up the cleanup hitter Carson Gates with those still 2 aboard of Schwalbach in scoring position. After the first pitch of the game, he got hit. Gates the pitcher tonight, so we got a pitcher v. pitcher for the 4th hitter in the contest. This one inside for ball number 1. So we've seen a inconsistent amount. We talked about the Double Days had 20 combined runs with Kimberly last night, and Kaukauna as well, the 9 runs last week Wednesday, but today kind of a slower start. You're going to see some longer at-bats. Will it stay the same throughout the course of the night? We'll have to see, but so far Pope and these 4 batters for the Angels have been battling up tight. Here's the 2-0 from Pope in the dirt for ball 3. We've also seen this before, a 3-0, but We'll see how Pope responds to this one. With that one out in the inning, still 2 aboard here in the top of the first. 3-0 pitch. Caught the outside. It's how he struck out Mason Hildebrand, the last hitter. But there's strike 1 for Carson Gates. Two aboard here for the Angels. Schwalbach at second, Moss at first. And the 3-1 pitch from Gates. Again, same spot, but just didn't catch the frame for ball number 4. So now the bases are loaded here, and it'll step up the 5-hole hitter of Chase Otradovic as the Angels try to strike first here in the top of the first. So 2 walks to start Pope's debut here tonight in the top of the first. 1 to Moss and now to Gates. And it'll load up the bases with 1 out. And Chase Otradovic, the first baseman, in the batter's box. Pope sets. First pitch to Otradovic. Just upstairs for ball number 1. Again, thank you for tuning along here tonight. It's been a slower top of the first inning, but hope to get things underway. The Angels seek their first run of the game as their Otradovic follows one off for strike 1. But again, the big theme tonight is how will the Angels respond after that tough game on last week Wednesday? Just a team that, for the school team, won the Division I state championship and just didn't look like themselves on Wednesday. They've had a solid summer ball season. That was just their second loss last week on the year, as they seek win number 6 here tonight against the 4-5 overall Double Days. 2-1, right up the gut, heads right over the mid of Pope, and into shallow center field. It'll score 1, and holding up is head coach Griffin Klein, and now we got a little pickle. So currently it's 2 scored for the A's. As fighting back to get there, it's Carson Gates. Will they get the double play? Not in time, but they get Carson Gates in the pickle. And at second base, it's Chase Otradovic. And it'll end up scoring 2 for the Angels. But how big would that double play have been? But instead, it's Kaukauna leading 2-0 here in the opening get-go.
Now batting number 5.
So a lot to take in there. So Carson Gates technically caught stealing there. Moss and Schwalbach come around to score. And it's now Jack Hawk trying to add on to this 2-0 lead for the Angels. A check swing, but no matter. Strike number 1 on Hawk. Second baseman for the Angels defense tonight. Pitch from Pope, a little dribbler down the first base line. It's scooped up by Jack Schleedy. And flicks it on over to Brady Pope, the pitcher, for out number 3. But not after the Kaukauna Angels with the bases loaded. Strike first due to a little pickle. And the Double Days can't get out number 3 on Chase Otradovic. So it's 2-0 Kaukauna Angels as we enter the bottom of the first. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports and American Legion Baseball.
Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake. A half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high-quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better.
Welcome back to Koslow Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. We're getting set for the bottom of the first inning as I introduce you the starting lineups here for the Double Days offense from top to bottom. It's Ethan Winkler, Wyatt Schleeder, Jack Schleeder, Oscar Crownhart, Xander Martin, Brady Pope, Caden Laumer, Mason Winkler, and Jamison Stieg, the 1 through 9 for the Double Days starting 9. And from left to right for the Kaukauna Angels defense, first in the outfield, it's Hansen, Schwalbach, then Judas. Left to right in the infield, Moss, Hildebrand, Hawk, Otradovic. Like I said, Gates on the mound, and Van Rossum behind the dish for the Angels. Gates the one caught stealing for that second out of the inning, but no matter, the Double Days not able to get that third out in that mess of a pickle that ended up scoring 2 for the Angels, and that is how they lead 2-0 as we welcome you to the bottom of the first. Here from Costello Park, a beautiful stadium, and I said in the previous inning they got those bushes around the outfield there. We got 400 dead center. Kind of gives you some Wrigley Field vibes in Chicago with that. The netting there, they don't have any netting here, but the bushes surrounding the outfield and kind of in foul territory. So no matter, we'll see how the Appleton Double Days can respond to those 2 runs given up previously in that top of the first inning, and leading it off to start it, it'll be Ethan Winkler, center fielder for the Double Days tonight. The lefty also for Appleton will step in facing Gates here. First pitch from Gates in the inning on the way. And this one sent to the opposite ground, shallow left field, a leadoff base hit for Ethan Winkler as he's aboard first, wasting no time here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for the Double A's, number 9.
One pitch, one hit for Ethan Winkler, and he's aboard first as the Double Days try to crawl back and get back those 2 runs given up in the previous inning. Now it'll be Wyatt Schleter, the shortstop for the Double Days, with one aboard of Ethan Winkler with a leadoff single. First pitch from Gates. Ethan Winkler gets a large lead over at first as there's a ball number 1. Gates sets, 1-0 on the way. Ethan Winkler headed over to second. Meanwhile, the throw not in time, and Winkler's aboard second with a bottom of the first stolen base. And a 1-1 count. Meanwhile, a strike to Wyatt Schleter. So now it's Ethan Winkler aboard second. A 1-1 count on Schleter. Here's the pitch from Gates. Chased at, sent over to the second baseman, Hawk. Fields it nicely and rifles it to Otradovic for out number 1. But meanwhile, advancing the runner of Ethan Winkler to third base. And he's a bag closer to getting the Double Days' first run here tonight. And just that one out in the inning, a sac fly would do it. A ground ball in the right spot in the infield might do it. And we'll see what Jack Schleter can do, Wyatt's brother, here for the Double Days. First pitch from Gates. This one chased down and fouled off to the left side, right behind the Double Days bench on the third base side. It's an 0-1 count on Jack Schleter. 0-1 from Gates. Well outside for ball 1. One from Gates. Upstairs for ball 2. So far, and not as many long battles as we saw in the previous inning with Pope on the mound, but Gates has had some long at-bats here with the Schleter brothers as well as Winkler to start this bottom of the first. As there is a strike number 2 on the outside corner. And a 2-2 count now to Jack Schleter. Gates looking to take it himself. 2-2. Low and in for ball 3. How huge would it be if Gates can take Jack Schleter himself and get this second out with Winkler at third base? Pitch on the way and chased right back to the first baseman, Otradovic. He looks back. Ethan Winkler takes it himself for out number 2. One unassisted to put away Jack Schleter. A good response. 2 straight outs for the Schleter brothers. Keeps Ethan Winkler at third base, and he'll step in Oscar Crownhart. First pitch from Gates. Fouled him right in the mitt for strike number 1. 2 outs in the inning with Ethan Winkler at third base. He gets a large lead. Pitch from Gates inside, catches the zone for strike number 2. The Angels defense a strike away from getting out of the inning and keeping their 2-0 lead through 1 complete. 0-2 from Gates. This one sent in play on the foul ground. Making the play over from first base is Chase Otradovic for out number 3 in foul ground, making the play. And the Angels get out of the inning. The Appleton Double Days leave 1 on at third base of Ethan Winkler and not able to crawl into this 2-0 deficit as we're through 1 complete. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, American Legion Baseball, here from Coslow Park.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. Offering comprehensive solutions that include brand development, social media marketing, branded products, and digital marketing. The goal is to streamline every aspect of marketing while maximizing results. With a focus on clear, transparent communication and a driven team ready to hustle, Bear Performance Marketing is your partner for marketing that outperforms the competition. Learn more at bearpm.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's drivers that they need. Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Cobuson Buses would like to thank all of our school bus drivers throughout the state of Wisconsin for their safe driving. If you would like to make a difference in your community with a fun and rewarding part-time job, apply at cobuson.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Travel Leaders Discovery specializes in creating personalized, unforgettable, and stress-free travel experiences for individuals, families, and groups of all sizes. Travel Leaders Discovery is a full-service agency booking beach vacations, cruises, hotel-only and air hotel, Disney, house rentals, business travel, romantic travel, and family vacations. Anywhere you want to go. Call Travel Leaders Discovery at 833-TL-TRIPS and visit www.tltrips.com. We welcome you to the top of the second here as the Angels have a 2-0 lead as we're through 1 complete. And leading it off for the A's, it's Ashton Judas. First pitch wasting no time, sending it into foul ground over the Doubleday's first base coach. For strike number 1. Glad you could join us here from Coslow Park for American Legion Baseball on a Tuesday night. I hope everyone enjoyed their 4th of July weekend as there. Judas sends one back to Pope, but gets past the mitt. Meanwhile, the shortstop Wyatt Schliedel able to recover off Pope's mistake and make the play for out number 1.
Next up for Kaukauna, number 21, Nathan Hansen.
Wyatt Schlieder makes the play, covers up his teammate Pope. It just slipped right under the mitt of Pope. Nevertheless, out number 1 for Ashton Judas and the Doubledays defense. Now we'll bring in Nathan Hansen as he looks at ball number 1. Quickly, 1 out here in the top of the second here from Coslow Park. Hansen in left field tonight. Second pitch from Gates. This one a shot out to shallow center field. It'll drop for a 1-out base hit for Nathan Hansen. And he is aboard for the inning's first hit.
Now batting, number 23. Carter Van Rossum.
Put it in the perfect spot. Hansen, nothing fancy on that play. Just a nice little blooper out to shallow center. And he's aboard with a 1-out single here in the second. Now for the last batter of the Angels lineup, it's the 9-hole hitter Carter Van Rossum with 1 aboard. First pitch from Pope. This one a high pop up, and it's going to go out of play over the Angels bench on the first base side. 4 strike 1. A 1 count to Carter Van Rossum. Got a member who is frequently in this Angels starting 9. As Judas gets his lead over at first. Pope is from the stretch. He sets. And here's the delivery. A curveball that's fairly outside for ball 1. 1-1 count to Carter Van Rossum. And again, how the Angels scored this 2 runs, it was kind of a mess. They got in the pickle. They were able to get 1 of Carson Gates, but then 2 scored as they weren't able to get the 3rd out of Otradovic, as there's a dribbler to the shortstop. Wyatt Schleter sends it over to 2, but can't get the second one in time. They get the lead runner of Hansen at second, but can't turn the double play over to Carter Van Rossum.
Now for Kaukauna, number 20, Brady Schwalbach.
So fielder's choice gets
Courtesy running number 10, Max Hippis.
Carter Van Rossum aboard first, and now sends it back to the top of the order with Brady Schwalbach. Again, the first pitch of the game, he was hit by pitch. He got aboard and was the game's first run scored across home plate. We'll see what he can do with 2 outs in the inning. This one just below the frame for ball number 1. Again, glad he could join us here from Zaleski Sports. Costello Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. A solid crowd presence below me. Second pitch from Pope, well outside. And a 2-0 count now to Brady Schwalbach. Just 3 pitches delivered to him on the night after his first pitch was a hit by pitch back in the top of the first. From the stretch, Pope sets, checks the shoulder in the delivery. This one's sent to the third baseman, Martin. Scoops it and sends it to Jack Schleter for out number 3. So the Kaukauna Angels cannot add on to their 2-0 lead, and we are through 2.5, and we'll see what the Double A's can do on the offense when we return. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Travel Leaders Discovery.
This summer, the whole family is invited to Marshfield's home base for fun. Woodfield Inn & Suites, where great rooms come with great rates. Splash around in the indoor pool. Mom and Dad unwind in the hot tub. Let your kids take over the arcade. Book your family getaway at Woodfield Inn & Suites. The 2026 American Legion State Baseball Tournament is in Marshfield. Make Woodfield Inn & Suites your home base.
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. From brand development to social media marketing and promotional solutions, we streamline your marketing for maximum results. Learn more at BAERPM.com. We welcome you back to Costello Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. Beautiful day for baseball. The sun sets and a beautiful atmosphere, a good crowd presence as the Angels lead 2-0 as we're through 1.5, as we're in the bottom of the second. And an outside pitch to Xander Martin for a strike number 1, as we are underway here in the bottom of 2. Second pitch from Gates in there for strike number 2. Good start for Gates on the mound in that previous inning, and in this one, looks to quickly put away Martin. This one sent opposite ground over to the vehicles in the parking lot. Count stays at 0-2. Gates, 0-2, pitch on the way. Curved ball inside, nearly caught Xander Martin. In the right-handed batter's box, but for the first ball of the at-bat in the inning. 1-2 from Gates. This one sent right over the head of both Hawk and Otradovic in shallow right field to Judas. And how about that? A good battle and a good response. Xander Martin gets aboard first with a leadoff single, despite the 1-2 count. Now pitcher v. pitcher here in the bottom of the second. Will bring up Brady Pope. with Xander Martin with that leadoff single now aboard first. It looked like Gates was just finding some rhythm and surely looked like he was going to take care of Xander Martin for that first out, but how about Martin sending one opposite ground to shallow right for a leadoff hit? 0-1 from Pope. Excuse me, Gates. Pope is in the box. Pitcher v. pitcher, as that's inside for ball one. Evens up the count. Again, it's spelled P-O-P-P for the Appleton Double Days player, but pronounced Pope. As there, Gates checks on Xander Martin at first base. 1-2 pitch. There lays down a bunt, but fouled off for strike number 2. Now we won't see a bunt from Pope. The first bunt shown here tonight in this one. Now Brady Pope going to pull the trigger here with a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way from Gates. Check swing, no matter. Got Brady Pope looking for the first out of the inning and keeps Xander Martin over at first base. First strikeout for Gates here in this one tonight. It comes for the other pitcher, Brady Pope. And there's one out in the inning with one aboard, and they'll now bring in Caden Laumer. Gates trying to pick up some rhythm here as he's doing nicely. First pitch in there for strike 1. Just see a good pace from Gates on the mound through these first 2 innings. From the stretch, Gates sets, delivers. Outside for ball 1. Evens up with ones across the board. 1-1 count, 1 out in the inning and 1 aboard. Pitch from Gates. This one showed bunt but fouled back. So Pope showed bunt in his last at-bat. Laumer there fouled it back behind him for strike number 2. Again, glad he could join us here on Zaleski Sports. So we welcome you to Costello Park here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 pitch from Gates. Curveball and just caught him late was Caden Laumer for the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gates. And there's quickly 2 outs now in the bottom of the second. So now trying to keep this inning going. Mason Winkler steps into the box. Catcher for the Double Days tonight. At the 8-hole spot in the offensive lineup for Appleton. Again, Xander Martin still at first base. Kind of a smaller Martin, but there he might have some wheels despite his not as much length as maybe Otradovic or Gates here in the infield, but haven't seen him steal a bag yet. We saw Winkler steal back to lead things off in the first, the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And they caught a stolen base for Xander Martin. And they sent it. It was Van Rossum sending it over to Otradovic, but on his wheels was Xander Martin and just stole second base. How about it? So now Martin aboard second base with the second stolen base for the Double Days tonight. This one sent right over the head of the second baseman, Hawk. Rounding third base in to score is Martin. Throw to home plate, not in time. And the Double Days strike for their first run here in the bottom of the second. And the RBI single from Mason Winkler scores Xander Martin. And that's all credit to Martin's stolen base moments ago. That got him aboard second off his leadoff single. And there he's able to round the bags off the RBI single from Mason Winkler in the 8-hole spot with 2 outs in the inning. And how about that for the Double Days offense? Finding a scrappy way to get their first run here tonight. That's the first pitch to Jamison Stieg in there for strike 1. Gates and the A's looking to end this inning. Here's a high fly ball to right field, and it's fouled off. The right fielder, Judas, not able to get there in time. But rounding second was Winkler. Running on anything here with 2 outs in the inning. So closer score than we saw last week Wednesday. The Angels falling to New London 9-0 in 6 innings. And the 0-2 from Gates. Another high pop-up, but this one's out of play. Back behind the plate. An 0-2 count once again to Jamison Stieg. 9-hole hitter for the Double Days at second base tonight. Gates looking to end the inning. Runner goes in there for strike number 3. And a backwards K is second backwards K of the game. Third strikeout for Gates. And he does it all himself in this inning, but not after the Double Days score their team's first run of the game as we are through 2 complete. The Double Days are within 1. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
Hey, this is Brian Butch, former college and professional basketball player, here with a message from Abbey Bank. Safeguard your personal information and join us for Abbey Bank's free shred day on Wednesday, August 5th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at any Abbey Bank location. Shred your confidential documents for free. And while you're there, help make a difference. Bring a non-perishable food or hygiene item to support your local food pantry. For full details, head to abbeybank.com. Abbey Bank, where they make banking about you. This is sponsored by Abbey Bank, member FDIC.
It's listed as a T, right?
Right. It's C, yep. Oh. I've been doing it wrong for the last 3 games I've announced. So.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Well, credit to a very nice fan. We're going to get some clarification here early in the game. It was Jamison Stieg. I mean, it's interesting. He's got a T in Jamison Stieg, who is just the final out of that bottom of the second as we welcome you back here now to begin the top of the third. Well, he's got a T in his name, but it's pronounced Sieg. So great to get that clarification as we're through 2 complete as we welcome you to the top of the third with the Kaukauna Angels leading the Appleton Double Days 2-1. And to start it, it'll be Ethan Winkler, who got all the way to third base. Excuse me. Looking at the Aiden Moss in for the Angels, I was going to say. So Moss was aboard that walk back in the first inning. There's 2 pitches, 2 strikes for Pope as I try to gather myself. Top of the third. Aiden Moss able to get around the bases, and he scored the second run for the Angels. As there's an outside ball number 1. Looking at the completely wrong team of the Double Days on offense. Didn't flip the sheet, the scorebook. Curveball, late decision to pull it, and fouled off. Aiden Moss, I think, lucky to walk back in that batter's box for a do-over. And a 1-2 count here on Pope. Trying to pick up some momentum here in the third. It was kind of a rockier 2 innings, but settling in here through 2 complete. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball number 2. Two count to Aiden Moss. Pope and the Double Days look for out number 1 here in the third. Pitch on the way. Up and away for ball 3. First full count here in the third. I believe our third full count of the game. Full count. On the way. This one pulled opposite territory. Right over the bushes on the right side. And foul. Moss and Pope, a really good battle here to start the top of the third. Who will come out on top as the Angels had a 2-run lead before that last inning. And due to the RBI single from Mason Winkler, Doubledays got on the board. Another full count from Pope. Here's the pitch. This one's sent to the third baseman, Martin. Scoops it nicely, rifles it over to the first baseman, Jack Schlieder, for the first out.
Elevated for Kaukauna, number 2, Mason Hildebrand.
So I was looking down and looking at something while the play was happening, and it ended up being the drop ball from Jack Schlieder. So aboard first is Aiden Moss, and they get the trail runner of Mason Hildebrand at first base there moments ago. Moss now over to second base. I was looking at my score sheet trying to see. There's Jack Schlieder at first base. So now Aiden Moss aboard second. Hildebrand sent out at first. And now it's Carson Gates in for the Angels. And now they catch Aiden Moss in a pickle, and they get him out at third base. Caught stealing. And so now they clear the ducks on the pond. How about that? How about a good Doubledays defensive sequence there. Catches Moss stealing for the second out. And back in, it's Carson Gates with a 0-0 count and 2 outs in the inning. There's a high pop-up out to shallow center field. 3 members chasing in on it. None of them can get to it in time. And it drops there for a 2-out single. And aboard first base is Carson Gates with a 2-out single, and now we'll bring in Chase Otradovic. So apologies, Aiden Moss got aboard first base, and then eventually was caught stealing, trying to go to third, and Hildebrand was the first out of the inning. Moss was the second out, caught stealing. Now the single there from Carson Gates. Chase Otradovic looking to add on to this 2-1 lead as he looks at strike number 1. Three hits for both these squads, 1 error for the Doubledays. As their Pope checks on Carson Gates at first base. Top of the third here from Costlow Park in Menasha. Glad he could join us here on Zaleski Sports. A 1 pitch from Pope in there for strike 2. Pope really starting to find his rhythm here in the third. A big credit has been his defense, getting that one caught Moss stealing for the second out. And then that fielding play to get Hildebrand for the first out. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes. This one a shot out to left field, and it cannot stay in play. Fouled off, and the count stays at 0-2. Been a big momentum shifter, and Gates was putting on the wheels, was already at second base. But Otradovic will step back into the box with an 0-2 count, 2 outs in the inning, and a 1-run Angels lead. Pope from the stretch, checks the shoulder. Here's the 0-2. Outside, didn't miss by much for ball 1. Pope checks the shoulder, 1-2. This one chased that opposite ground and sent out of play for foul ball. The count stays where it's at 1-2. It was inside the hands of Chase Otradovic. Another 1-2 pitch coming up shortly. Pope sets, checks the shoulder. Here's the pitch. And strike number 3. A strikeout yet again for Pope. And the second one on the day sends Chase Otradovic packing and leaves one on for the Angels. So, after 2.5 entering the bottom of the third, the Kaukauna Angels lead the Appleton Double Days 2-1 here on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard. We enter the bottom of the third with the Angels leading the Double Days. And you are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing. Thank you. Thank you.
Good day.
Thank
My name
you.
is Ken
I was
Hyman.
looking
Welcome
down at my
to
scorebook trying to
Nasonville
see.
Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
However and wherever you want to travel the world, Travel Leaders Discovery can help you get there. Beach vacations, family trips, cruises, romantic getaways, Disney vacations, U.S. travel and business travel. Travel Leaders Discovery, proudly helping families, couples, and businesses explore the world through all-inclusive trips of all kinds. Call them today in Green Bay, Appleton, and Sheboygan to create your memories for a lifetime.
We'll welcome you back to Costlow Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. Leading off for the Double Days, it'll be Ethan Winkler, who started the bottom of the first with a leadoff single, ended up stealing the bases, but was left on base and was not able to capitalize for the Double Days' first run, but nevertheless got their first run in the previous inning, as there we saw a first pitch in the top of the first hit by batter Brady Schwalbach, and now the first pitch at the bottom of the third is hit by Ethan Winkler as he's aboard first base. Anyway on, as they say, and Ethan Winkler aboard first base. It's now 1 for 2 on the day, a single back in the first, now hit by pitch in the third. Will step up Wyatt Schleter with one on as there he chases and swings ahead, but I think it hit his hands almost. I think it came back and hit the hands of Wyatt Schleter, but nevertheless swinging for strike number 1. Again with that one aboard of Ethan Winkler at first. Pitch from Gates outside for ball 1. Again, I appreciate you tuning in here at Zaleski Sports on a Tuesday night. So glad he could join us. Beautiful ball diamond of Costlow Park. As there Van Rossum checks over on Winkler. Meanwhile, Wyatt Schleter looks at ball 2. It's a 2-1 count here with no outs in the inning. 2-1 pitch. Inside for ball 3. Good battle here between Gates and Wyatt Schleter with Ethan Winkler aboard first base. Who will come out on top? Will it be out number 1 or a base hit? And it's sent to the shortstop, Hildebrand. Flips it to the second baseman, Hawk, turning it for the double play. They got him on the bang at first base to Otradovic. And what a play. 6-4-3 for quick out number 1 and a quick out number 2. As there's now 2 outs in the inning, no ducks on the pond. And the Angels look to get out of the bottom of the third with no damage. Just an unfortunate play for the Double Days offense. Now it'll be Wyatt's brother Jack Schleter into the box. 0-1 count here with 2 outs in the inning. A slim 1-run margin here in tonight's contest between the Angels and the Double Days. I said in the pregame, but these two were in the Wisconsin Rapids tournament a few weekends back. So there, Jack Schleter looks at strike number 2. Gates a strike away from ending the inning. 0-2 pitch on the way. Upstairs, a check swing, but didn't pull. It was Jack Schleter for ball number 1. Another pitch on the way from Gates. This one a dribbler to the first baseman, Otradovic. He takes it himself, steps on first base for the final out of the inning. But thanks to a 6-4-3 double play and the 3 unassisted for the final out of the inning, the Kaukauna Angels keep the Double Days with 1 run as we are through 3 complete. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Appleton Technologies.
Maida Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Maida Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at maidacustom.com.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Marshfield is hosting the AAA State Legion Baseball Tournament from Tuesday, July 28th through Saturday, August 1st. Post 54 Legion welcomes 8 teams to compete for the state championship. Visit Hackman Field in Marshfield and enjoy delicious concessions, a chance to win exciting raffle prizes, and most importantly, some outstanding baseball. Again, July 28th through August 1st at Hackman Field in Marshfield. Crazy to think we are already thinking about the state tournament less than a month away as we're fairly well into July. Regionals just right around the corner, a few weeks from today. But here we got a solid regular season game on Tuesday, July 7th between the Kaukauna Angels and the Appleton Double Days as we're through 3 complete. And leading it off for the Angels, it's Jack Hawk. 0 for 1 on the day so far, looking to turn things around as he looks at ball number 1 as we begin the 4th. Glad he could join us here from Costello Park as the sun officially set here. The lights beaming on the field. Second pitch. Here's a high pop up in the infield. And the catcher, Mason Winkler, didn't know where it was, but hit the top of us here in the box. It looked like it was staying in play from where I was. And Pope was chasing in on it. But it's a 1-1 count nevertheless to Jack Hawk to lead off this top of the 4th. Angels hanging on to a 1-run lead. But the Double Days have been inches close to tying or taking the lead here in this one today. The past couple innings, now it's a 2-1 count to Hawk. Hawk at the 6-hole spot today for the Angels. Fourth pitch for ball 3. 3-1 count with no outs here in the 4th. Pope and Hawk battle it out. This one sent back again above us here from the box. 4 strike number 2. First full count here, the 4th. Full count, no outs, top of the 4th. Who will win the battle between Pope and Hawk? Pitch on the way. This one a dribbler behind the base. And fouled off. Count stays where it's at. Appleton Technologies boosts IT and technology for businesses in Northeast Wisconsin and beyond. From help desk support to Wi-Fi and phone solutions, trust the experts at Appleton. Visit AppletonTech.com for a free consultation. Full count pitch, a high sky out to left field. Chasing in on it is Crownhart. A diving play, and he makes it for the first out here in the top of the 4th. Sliding in butt first is Crownhart and left for the first out after a long battle between Hawk and Pope. as we're underway here in the fourth. Good play out there in left by Crown Hart for the first out of the inning. Now we'll bring in Ashton Judas. Also 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to the shortstop, Wyatt Schleter. So there he looks at ball one upstairs. It's been a while since the first inning since the Angels scored these 2 runs. There's a tough bounce right past Jack Schleter. And they're not able to make the play, and I think that's going to go down as possibly an error for the first baseman, Jack Schleter. We'll have to see if ours listed as an error on the scoreboard. It is, so it'll go down as an E3 as Judas aboard first base off the Jack Schleter error. So 1 aboard with 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Bring in Nathan Hansen, left fielder for the A's. There's a off-speed pitch right down the middle. Caught Hansen a little off guard for strike number 1. Beauty of a pitch from Pope. Setting the tone for this at-bat against Nathan Hansen. Pope checks over on Judas. Again, glad you could join us from Coslow Park. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, American Legion Baseball here on a Tuesday night. 0-1, right up the first base line to Jack Schleter. He steps on the bag himself for the second out of the inning. Meanwhile, advancing the runner of Ashton Judas to second. But still 2 outs in the inning.
Next up for Kaukauna, number 23, Carter Van Rossum.
So sending out of the 9-hole spot, Carter Van Rossum. Just like that second out, had a fielder's choice back in the second to get aboard first base. And they got the lead runner of Nathan Hansen. Here's a wild pitch past Mason Winkler. And rounding third base easily is Ashton Judas with a stolen bag. So Van Rossum with a chance to add on to this 1-run lead for the Angels with a 2-out RBI, with Ashton Judas roaming at third base. Pull from the stretch, delivers. Here's the 1-0 right up the gut to Wyatt Schleter. Fields it cleanly, sends it over to Jack Schleter's brother for the final out of the inning. So the Angels leave 1 aboard in scoring position at third base of Ashton Judas and cannot add on to their slim 1-run lead as we exit the top of the fourth, waiting for the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 lead. Angels lead the Double Days. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Legion Baseball.
Help us create iron castings the world uses and trusts. At Wapaka Foundry, you're not just making parts. It's the pride in what you do, the quality of people beside you, and the career you create. What we make matters. Who makes them matters more. Join us. Cast your future at Wapaka Foundry. Visit jobs.wapakafoundry.com. Go Comets!
Want to save even more at Fleet Farm? Sign up for Fleet Rewards for exclusive offers and deals. Earn points every time you shop. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Plus, earn rewards even faster with the Fleet Rewards credit card. Get 4 times the points every time you use your Fleet Rewards credit card. Start shopping and start saving even more with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Welcome you back to Coslow Park. We're getting set for the bottom of the fourth. Once again, we want to thank our game day sponsors here for tonight's contest. Travel Leaders Discovery, Appleton Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. Thank you for your endless support of Zaleski Sports. First pitch from Gates to Oscar Cronhart, fouled off, way out of play on the right side for strike number 1. And we are underway here in the bottom of the 4th from Costello Park. 0-1 from Gates. This one again sent pretty much same spot out there at right side. An 0-2 pitch to Cronhart. This one a little late behind it was Cronhart, and a leadoff strikeout for Gates for Kaukauna for the first out of the inning. Just a perfect way to set the tone. Gates for the Angels, just Carson Gates, the freshman now going to be in college, just setting the tone early here in the bottom of the 4th, and now we'll bring in Xander Martin. Moments ago was his 4th strikeout of the day, as he is on a roll here. Second pitch of the at-bat gets past Van Rossum as I say that. This one sent fouled back. Stays in play, hits off the fence post here for strike number 2. I want to thank the, I guess you could say, Menasha staff here at Costello Park for welcoming Zaleski Sports and myself here to the park tonight. Just got delivered a water. And have an amazing scoreboard operator up here. A fan helping me out as well. We appreciate the welcome here from Menasha. There's an inside pitch for a strike, number 3, and out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Back-to-back Ks. A forwards K and a backwards here in the bottom of the 4th for Carson Gates.
Now batting number 4, Brady Pope.
So Brady Pope gonna try to keep this inning alive with 2 outs. But Gates has really been sensational on the mound, just that 1 run. Back in the 2nd inning, giving up on the double days. Second pitch inside for strike 2. And Gates is just gliding here in the 4th. Looking for a do-it-all himself. Upstairs for ball 1. He's looking for back-to-back-to-back punch-outs for all 3 outs in the inning. 1-2 pitch. This one a drill out to shallow left field. And Brady Pope says not going to happen. It gets past the left fielder Hansen. And crawling into second base is Brady Pope, and he's aboard second base with a 2-out double. First double of the day for the double days on offense. And it's Brady Pope, the pitcher, getting aboard with 2 outs.
Batting for the double days, number 3, Caden Lammer.
2-1 on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard. First pitch now to Caden Lammer, fouled away for strike 1. A 1 count to Lammer. Pitch on the way from Gates. Late decision to swing. A little dribbler here to the infield. The first baseman, Otradovic, flips it over to Gates. And not in time. Double days in to score. It is Brady Pope. As he ties things up, it's 2-2. As the Angels defense not able to get Lammer in time at first base. He is aboard. I believe that's going to go down as an error for the Angels defense. So an error gets Caden Lammer aboard first base, scores Brady Pope around the bases. After the 2-out double, we'll bring in Mason Winkler for Appleton. So after the 2 runs in the first inning for the Angels, the Double Days responded in the 2nd and now 4th to tie things up. This one just barely got past the mid of Van Rossum for ball number 1. Evens up the count. 1-1 count with 2 outs in the inning and a 2-2 score. here in the bottom of the fourth on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard from Coslow Park in Menasha, Wisconsin. 1-1. Runner goes. This one, I believe, wasn't fouled back. He just swung, so no matter. Strike number 2, and aboard second base is Laumer with the stolen base after it gets by Van Rossum behind home plate. And Laumer is the go-ahead third run for the Appleton Doubledays here in the bottom of the fourth. One, two. This one sent to opposite ground over in shallow right field. Scooping it up is Judas. On the way to score is Caden Laumer, and he's sliding into home base. And the Appleton Doubledays, 3-run responded. They have a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the fourth.
Now up for the Doubledays, number 25, Jamison C.
RBI single for Mason Winkler with 2 outs in the inning. Now will step in Jamison Sieg. 0 for 1 on the day with a looking strikeout back in the second. But looking to keep this 2-out rally going with 2 runs here in the fourth for the Doubledays. First pitch on the way. Inside for ball 1. Like I said, Sieg with that looking strikeout back in the second. 0 for 1 tonight. Looking to score runner number 4 of Winkler. And flips over to first base, but a solid inning for this Appleton Doubledays team. As they add on 2 runs here in the fourth, they take a 3-2 lead, 3 runs unresponded after Kaukauna scored the game's first 2 back in the first inning. Can the Angels take back the lead? They've had a majority of this game as we enter the top of the fifth. We're through 4 complete. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Amplitel Technologies.
The quality materials that was used when the house was built were below builder grade. I wanted to do something a little exciting, add a little bit of color, a little bit of texture. The Infinity team took time to get to know us. He wanted to know what we wanted. Once he saw my design, he says, well, let's make this happen. It's a big project. Just changed the whole look of the house, and it looks like a brand new home. The Infinity team treated us like we were their family. I would recommend Infinity to anybody.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
We welcome you back here to Coslow Park. We're through 4 complete. Previously in the inning, the Appleton Doubledays scoring 2 runs back in the fourth to take a 3-2 lead. As we welcome you to the top of the fifth, the Angels look to take back the lead they've had for the most of this game before that previous inning. So we're about set to begin the fifth. Glad you could join us here on Zaleski Sports. I'm Miles Detroit. Beautiful day for baseball. Sun officially set. And again, I can't get over this field. Just a really good Wrigley Field vibes with the bushes all across the outfield. 400 dead center, 370 towards the chutes, and 330 on the foul ball lines. So there's a first pitch. Strike number 1 to Brady Schwalbach. Top of the order for the Angels as they look to take back the lead, down by a run here in the fifth. Second pitch outside, gets past Mason Winkler for ball number 1. Schwalbach 0 for 2, and first pitch of the ball game was hit by Brady Pope, and also grounded out to the third baseman Martin. Back in the second, we'll see what he has in store in inning number 5. 1-2 count to Schwalbach. Pope from the stretch delivers. Outside, caught the edge for strike number 3. A strikeout to begin the fifth for Brady Pope. for the first out of the inning. I believe by my counting his third strikeout of the day for Pope. My catcher Mason Winkler headed over to their dugout. And it's going to change his catcher's mitt. Now it's going to bring in Aiden Moss for the Angels. Got aboard a walk back in the first. Scored the game's second run. And that is where the Angels stand at this point. First pitch off speed in there. Curveball in there for strike one. We saw that, I believe, in the last inning with Pope on the mound. Or it might have been Gates. Someone had that slow off-speed curveball. There's a fastball upstairs for ball one. Evens up the count. One's across the board with one out in the inning. Again, thank you to our game day sponsors, Travel Leaders Discovery, Appleton Technologies. There's one sent up the gut right past the second baseman, Sieg. And it's a one-out single for Aiden Moss. And can't leave out Bear Performance Marketing for our Zaleski Sports Game Day sponsors, as well as leading our game day graphic, Travel Leaders Discovery. Thank you for doing that as well. The tremendous support for Kaukauna Angels baseball as well as Appleton Double Days. It's now one aboard on the fresh count for Mason Hildebrand. There he looks at ball one. 1-0 count to Hildebrand. 0 for 2 on the day, including a backwards K back in the first to get the game's first out of the contest. So he looks at ball number 2. 2-0 count with one out and one aboard of Aiden Moss after that one-out single a few seconds ago as Pope checks over on him in standing. Double Days lead the Angels 3-2 here on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard. 2-0 pitch to Hildebrand. He sends one out shallow right field, a one-out base hit, and back-to-back, one for Moss and now for Hildebrand as the A's have two aboard here in the fifth. We'll see now what Carson Gates can do with it with two aboard, one in scoring position. What would be Kaukauna's fifth run if they're able to get him home. They would take a 2-run lead to the Double Days. Pope sets, delivers. Low just caught the frame for strike number 1. Good pitch from Brady Pope. What would be great is if he can take Gates and keep those runners of Moss and Hildebrand out stranded. 0-1 pitch. Ball in there off speed for strike number 2. Utilized that twice this inning. Both times the Kaukauna hitters caught looking. Pope hungry for the second out of the inning. 0-2 pitch, but meanwhile is going to check on the lead runner, Aiden Moss, at second. So Pope will step back on the rubber, looking for Carson Gates to be the victim for out number 2. Pitch outside. He had one to waste. 1-2 count. Double Days seek out number 2. Pitch on the way from Pope. Another off-speed curve. Just a bit inside for ball number 2. Evens up. He's got a few to waste here in the at-bat, but really needs to take Gates himself for the second out. It'll keep Moss and Hildebrand out at second and first. 2-2. Pope, pitch. Check swing, and he got him. The strikeout for Pope on Carson Gates, and he did indeed take it himself. I believe it was the backwards K. He had the check swing. I don't think he went for the second out of the inning. Now it's Chase Otradovic with now 2 outs, with still 2 aboard for the A's. First pitch from Pope. This one lined out of play and foul for strike 1. Tell you what, there's been a lot of foul balls over by the vehicles on the right side, out of your frame, but hoping mine's okay over there. I did park in that vicinity. And another one sent over to the parking lot. I guess we'll find out after the game, right? Pope looking to do it himself. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball 1. Again, had 1 to waste here on Chase Otradovic, as well as Carson Gates, who ended up with the backwards K for out number 2. And it was Schwalbach with the forwards K for out number 1. Otradovic, foul. And Mason Winkler going to call time, go talk to Brady Pope. Appleton Technologies boosts IT and technology for businesses in Northeast Wisconsin and beyond, from help desk support to Wi-Fi and phone solutions. Trust the experts at Appleton. Visit AppletonTech.com for a free consultation. So now, meanwhile, 1-2 count on Chase Otradovic. Pope looking to end the inning here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. This one fouled back, hits the catcher's chest plate. Count stays at 1-2. We got a long at-bat here with Brady Pope and Chase Otradovic. But 2 aboard for the Angels, 1 in scoring position. Doubleday's trying to keep this score where it's at. Pope sets. Here's the delivery. In there for strike 3, a backwards K on Chase Otradovic, and his second of the inning, and Pope does it all himself. 3 strikeouts, 3 outs here in the top of the 5th. Appleton leads Kaukauna 3-2 as we enter bottom of number 5. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake, a half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high-quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better. Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake, a half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high-quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better.
Marshfield is hosting the AAA State Legion Baseball Tournament from Tuesday, July 28th through Saturday, August 1st. Post 54 Legion welcomes 8 teams to compete for the state championship. Visit Hackman Field in Marshfield and enjoy delicious concessions, a chance to win exciting raffle prizes, and most importantly, some outstanding baseball. Again, July 28th through August 1st at Hackman Field in Marshfield. We welcome you back to Costlow Park here in Menasha, Wisconsin. We welcome you to the bottom of the 5th, as previously the Doubleday is a good defensive standing, leaving 2 on for the Angels. How about it? We saw early struggles from Pope, but he has really settled in, and there in the previous inning, did it all himself, and Winkler gets hit there for the second time today, now to lead off the 5th. He was hit back in the third and had the leadoff single back in the first. So he's truly found any way on here today. And he's led off the first, third, and fifth. And they're hoping to add on to their 3-2 lead here in the fifth. First pitch now to wide. Schlieder lays down the bunt, sends it to Gates. A dribbler that Gates rifles to Otradovic for out number 1. Meanwhile, advancing the runner of Winkler to second base. And a fielder's choice to get Wyatt Schlieder for the inning's first out. Doing his job, advancing the runner of Ethan Winkler. Now will step in Jack Schlieder. Schlieder 0 for 2 on the day is there. He sends one on a tightrope over to the third base side, but foul for strike number 1. Second pitch in for ball number 1. Evens up the count. 1-1 with 1 away in the bottom of the fifth. That runner in scoring position of Ethan Winkler as the Double Days look to add on to their 3-2 lead that they got. They took their first lead in the previous inning back in the fourth. And now a 2-1 count to Jack Schlieder. Outside for ball 3. So Schlieder in a good position here and a good heads-up play. Good base running from Ethan Winkler. I believe for his second stolen base today, and now he's aboard third with a stolen base in the fifth, and just a good heads-up play. And a 3-1 count to Jack Schlieder, and he fouls it off for strike 2. And the first full count here in the bottom of the fifth. This one's a rifle and a backhanded right to Hildebrand. He rifles it over to Otradovic, and what a play for the shortstop Hildebrand. But meanwhile, scoring the 4th run for the Double Days as now they lead 2. But can't take away from that fancy play in the backhand from Hildebrand to get the inning's second out. But Jack Schlieder doing his job and scoring Ethan Winkler around the bases. Now it's Oscar Crownhart in for the Double Days. Second pitch from Gates. This one well behind it was Crownhart for strike number 2. This pitching has been really something fun to watch. Both Gates and Pope here tonight. 0-2 sent out of play, foul. Both fielders' choices to get both the outs here in this inning. 0-2, a high pop-up. This one's going to stay in play. Roaming it in foul territory is the first baseman Otradovic for the final out of the inning. But meanwhile, the Appleton Double Days going to add one more run to their 4-2 lead now as we are through 5 complete. Can Appleton hang on for 2 more innings, or can Kaukauna pick up win number 6 on the year? We'll find out in the coming minutes. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Travel Leaders Discovery.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. Offering comprehensive solutions that include brand development, social media marketing, branded products, and digital marketing. The goal is to streamline every aspect of marketing while maximizing results. With a focus on clear, transparent communication and a driven team ready to hustle, Bear Performance Marketing is your partner for marketing that outperforms the competition. Learn more at bearpm.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's drivers that they need. Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Kaukauna buses would like to thank all of our school bus drivers throughout the state of Wisconsin for their safe driving. If you would like to make a difference in your community with a fun and rewarding part-time job, apply at Kaukauna.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Did Laumer Laumer and Pope just switched, right? Welcome back here to Koslow Park. We're through 5 complete, and in the 6th, we're going to have a pitching change for the Appleton Doubledays on replacing Brady Pope. It is Laumer for the Appleton Doubledays. Caden Laumer coming from right field, I believe. I can check here in a moment, but it might just be a single switch with Pope and Laumer. Let me see if I can see who's out in right. Looks to be like it. He had the arm sleeve. So for now, we're going to go with just the single switch. Yeah, I think I did see a number 4 too. Brady Pope now going to be out in right field. And Laumer's going to take over here in the 6th. As the Doubledays have a 4-2 lead. Can the Doubledays close off the Angels for 2 more innings and get their 5th win of the season? Little different game that the Doubledays had today compared to last night with a 20 combined run, 11-9 victory against Kimberly. We'll see what Laumer has in store. It's a phenomenal outing for Pope on the mound through 5 complete, and a good start for Laumer's debut as a first pitch strike number 1 to Jack Hawk, who will lead off the 6th here for the Angels. 0 for 2 on the day, a ground out to the first baseman. As there's a high pop-up out to the left fielder, Crown Hart. He makes the play for the first out of the inning. Jack Houck has found Crown Hart twice today for 2 outs and 0 for 3 now on the night. So to bring in Ashton Judas for the Angels. Now 1 out in the inning. Angels need something going here. 2 shots left to do it. They're down to their final 5 outs. It's been just great pitching as of recent. We saw Pope take a little while to adjust on the mound in the first couple outs of the game, but really started to find his groove and had a really solid 5 complete, 5.3 innings pitched. As there's a hot shot right up the gut and right over the head of the shortstop Wyatt Schleter out into shallow center for a 1-out base hit. Ashton Judas on base for the 2nd time today. He got on board with the air due to the air in the 4th, and now with a 1-out single in the 6th. And it's going to bring in Nathan Hansen at the 8-hole spot today. 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the 2nd. Another one fouled back towards the vehicles in the parking lot where a lot of these foul balls have magneted to. Pitcher, thank you. Good call. Who do we have for the Angels? Pinch hitter in. Runner goes meanwhile. Ball outside, and it's going to get past out there to shallow center, but staying put is the base runner. It's Nolan Lotzer in as the pinch hitter for Nathan Hansen. Thank our scoreboard operator today, keeping me on my toes. There's outside pitch for strike 1, or strike 2. And a 1-2 count now to Nolan Lotzer with the base runner over at second base. 1 out in the inning. Laumer sets. Here's the delivery. Off-speed curveball. Chased on it was Lotzer, fielded by the shortstop Wyatt Schleter. Bang, bang play, but not in time. Gets past the mitt of Jack Schleter. So now with runners at the corners with 1 out in the inning, the Angels have the go-ahead runner at home plate of number 23, Carter Van Rossum.
Now batting for the Angels, number 23.
Still just 1 out in the inning, so it's definitely some potential here for the Angels to get back at least one of these runs. Van Rossum 0 for 2 on the day. Meanwhile, on the way is Nolan Lotzer. And in to score off the pass ball. They decided to rifle down over to Lotzer. And in to score was McCoy Luno. Base running there for Ashton Judas. And like I said, the Angels within one now. They get one back. And it's 4-3 Doubledays. So a 1-0 count to Van Rossum. Pitch from Laumer. Sends one right to the center fielder, Ethan Winkler, for the second out of the inning. That was a solid rocket out there to center, but not able to steer a gap. Ethan Winkler makes the play for out number 2 of the inning. Now send it to the top of the order with Brady Schwalbach. 0 for 3 on the day, including a strikeout to lead off the 5th. What does the 6th have in store? This one fouled back right to the on-deck hitter of Aiden Moss for strike number 1. So 0-1 to Schwalbach with 2 outs in the inning and a runner in scoring position. The tying run of Lotzer. Second pitch catches the outside for strike 2. After the runners at the corners and Lotzer decided to go, it got past Lotzer and was able to score Luno, the pinch runner. As the Angels within 1. There's one well to the outside on the dirt for Schwalbach. 1-2 count. Laumer and Schwalbach here in the 6th. Who will come out on top? Pitch on the way. So when a high pop up, it's going to go out of play and foul. The count stays where it's at. Right to the fans below here at Costello Park in Menasha. It's been a great setting. Perfect temperatures, not too hot. Sun setting. The bright lights gleaming on the field. 1-2. This one well outside. Evens up the count. Again, Caden Laumer on the mound for the Doubledays, taking over here in the 6th. 2-2. This one sent to shallow left field. And Griffin Klein going to wave in his base runner of Nolan Lotzer and diving first, belly first. And he is in to score, and we are all tied at 4-4. The Angels with 2 runs here in the 6th. And the Doubledays not going to get away with this one that easily. And the RBI single from Brady Schwalbach, a really good battle with Laumer. And Schwalbach now aboard first. Aiden Moss now in. This one a hot shot deep to left field. Chasing after it, and he's just needed a little bit more out and left is Crownhart, who makes the play for the final out of the inning. But meanwhile, the Angels scoring 2 here in the 6th, tying things up 4-4 with the Doubledays as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Can Appleton get those runs back, or will we go knotted up to the 7th? Find out on Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
This summer, the whole family is invited to Marshfield's home base for fun. Woodfield Inn & Suites, where great rooms come with great rates. Splash around in the indoor pool. Mom and Dad unwind in the hot tub. Let your kids take over the arcade. Book your family getaway at Woodfield Inn & Suites. The 2026 American Legion State Baseball Tournament is in Marshfield. Make Woodfield Inn & Suites your home base.
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome you back to Costello Park. Once again, we're getting set for the bottom of the sixth. One inning for the Kaukauna Angels offense, taking advantage of the new pitcher of Caden Laumer, who took over for Brady Pope back in the previous inning, half inning ago. And we're tied, knotted up, 4-4 as we enter the bottom of the sixth. Through 5.5 complete. And the first pitch on the way from Gates, well past the pitcher Van catcher Van Rossum. And it's Xander Martin in to lead off the bottom of the sixth. Back and forth we go. 2 lead changes in this one. It was 2-0 Angels. And then the Doubleday strike back with 4-2, and then Kaukauna responding with 4-4. So really 1 lead change, but it's been back and forth. Doubleday's had the only lead change that went 4-2. There's a pitch in there for strike 1. 3-1 the count here to the leadoff hitter of Xander Martin. Groundhart was the final out back in the 5th. It's just been fast movement and a good pace for Gates on the mound. So there's a good response after the 3 balls to start the inning. Van Rossum fires it right over the head of Gates to the mid of Hildebrand. The first full count here at the bottom of the 6th. Xander Martin trying to work the Doubledays back to their lead. Full count. This one well upstairs for ball number 4. And the Doubledays have a leadoff runner aboard first base of Xander Martin with the leadoff walk. So leadoff walk to start the 6th here for the Doubledays offense. Brings in Brady Pope. Got his duties relieved back in the previous inning by Caden Laumer. Now mound visit here for the Angels. Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. From brand development to social media marketing and promotional solutions, we streamline your marketing for maximum results. Learn more at BAERPM.com. Welcome you back to the action here. 1 aboard for the Doubledays off the leadoff walk. Now it's Brady Pope stepping in with the go-ahead runner at first base of Xander Martin. It'd be a 2-run lead of Brady Pope at the plate. He shows bunt, pulls back, but in there for strike number 1. Scurrying back was Xander Martin to first base. He was ready to fly off that bunt. That was right down the middle, but Pope decided not to pull it. A 1 pitch, there he does, and it's a beauty right down the third base line, but just goes foul for strike number 2. It was on a perfect line, but just fell off the tightrope. But now it's going to be Brady Pope having to swing away with 2 strikes on his back. And Gates looking to take Pope himself. Pitcher v. previous pitcher for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Well outside for ball 1. And a 1-2 count. Gates had 1 to waste in the at-bat. And now Pope will step back in. 1-2 pitch from Gates. This one fouled back. Pope's first swing of the at-bat fouls off to the fencing below your screen. And it's a 1-2 count yet again. Gates, pitch on the way. This one right down Main Street for strike number 3. And a strikeout here for Gates. And the first out of the inning comes from the backwards K on Brady Pope. Keeps Xander Martin over at first base. Now we'll bring in Caden Laumer, who took over for Brady Pope, the previous batter. Back in the top of the 6th with 1 inning pitched. 0.3 innings pitched. Their bunt falls back for strike number 1. There's no 1 count here with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Doubledays have 1 more inning to add some insurance or to possibly take back a lead that the Angels could do back in the next inning. There's a dribbler to the third baseman. Mossy scoops it up, fires it over to the first baseman, Otradovic, for the second out of the inning. Meanwhile, advancing the lead runner of Xander Martin to second base. And the fielder's choice gets out Caden Laumer. Mason Winkler had that RBI back in the 4th with 1 in scoring position. The go-ahead runner of Xander Martin at second. First pitch, right down the middle for strike number 1. Mason Winkler with 2 RBIs as well on the day. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th at the 8-hole spot in the catcher for tonight's contest. Second pitch. This one sent to the third base line, but foul for strike 2. And Carson Gates and the Angels defense a strike away from ending the 6th and getting out of danger with Martin over in scoring position. Gates and Mason Winkler to end the 6th. Pitch on the way. This one a dribbler to the shortstop. Hildebrand smooths it cleanly, sends it to Otradovic for out number 3. The Kaukauna Angels defense holds strong. The Doubledays leave 1 aboard of Xander Martin in scoring position, and we're tied up, knotted up at 4-4 as we're through 6 complete. Who will come out on top? Final inning. Catch it on Zaleski Sports, powered by Appleton Technologies.
Hey, this is Brian Butch, former college and professional basketball player, here with a message from Abbey Bank. Safeguard your personal information and join us for Abbey Bank's free shred day on Wednesday, August 5th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at any Abbey Bank location. Shred your confidential documents for free, and while you're there, help make a difference. Bring a non-perishable food or hygiene item to support your local food pantry. For full details, head to abbeybank.com. Abbey Bank, where they make banking about you. This is sponsored by Abbey Bank, member FDIC.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
We welcome you back here to Costlow Park for the final inning of action as we are to the top of the 7th here from Menasha, Wisconsin. We're all knotted up at 4-4 in a back-and-forth game. 1 lead change taken by the Appleton Doubledays, who had most of a 4-2 lead. Then the Angels went and tied things up in the previous inning of the 6th. And we will see what the 7th has in store. Caden Laumer still on the mound for the Doubledays as he tries to keep this thing where it's at. And leading it off for the Angels, it'll be Mason Hildebrand. Whose game will it be? So we are through 6 complete in Menasha, Wisconsin. Tied up at 4-4. First pitch on the way from Laumer, and this one's a high shot out to shallow left center. Chasing in on it is the center fielder, Ethan Winkler, who makes a nice running play for the first out of the inning. Oh, dropped it. Another one I messed up. Looked like he hauled it into the glove. It must be. I'm going to blame it on the fencing up here. That's just kidding. Great conditions up here. It's my mistake. So now Mason Hildebrand aboard first base. And chasing in on it was Winkler, and it looked like he had it in the mitt. Just dropped, must have just dropped below him. And I took the eyes off the play, and Mason Hildebrand now aboard first base. Laumer again still on the mound, checks on Mason Hildebrand, who's aboard first, and it's Carson Gates in for the Angels. So good way to get one on here, opening the inning. It's Mason Hildebrand with a leadoff single. Carson Gates is going to try to get him around the bases. 2-0. In there, good pitch from Laumer for strike one. No excuse for my two mistakes there on the defense. We had the ground ball in the infield a few innings ago, and now the pop-up to Winkler in center. You got off days sometimes. Three 3-1. This one upstairs for ball number 4. So 2 aboard with no outs in the inning. It's Mason Hildebrand aboard with the leadoff single. Now Carson Gates with the no-out walk. Now we'll bring in number 15. Calvin Mums is going to step in for Chase Otradovic. It's a pinch hitter for Otradovic as he looks at a first pitch strike number 1. So Mums making his debut here today. We see him in the lineup quite a bit for the Angels, but coming in today, not much playing time in this one tonight. But as there he chases after one, sends one out to shallow right field, and there making the pop-out play is the second baseman, Sieg, for the first out of the inning. A much-needed out for this double days defense. Keeps the runners where they're at. And now one out in the inning will step in Jack Hawk. So much needed first out for the Appleton defense. As there's another pop out deep out to center field. Roaming after it is Ethan Winkler, and Winkler makes that catch for the second out of the inning. That one I kept the eyes on, and Ethan Winkler makes the play for out number 2 in the inning. Good response. Back-to-back putouts for the Appleton defense.
Now batting number 1, McCoy Luno.
So Luno, again, like I said in the previous inning, in for Ashton Judas, will now step in with 2 outs. And there's a shot to pass the second baseman, Sieg. On the way to score is the lead runner, Mason Hildebrand, but he'll be stopped in his tracks, and we're scurrying back to third base. But now the base is loaded here for the Angels. So a 2-out single for McCoy Luno. I believe it was the pitcher in last Wednesday in their blowout loss to New London, making up for it at the bag in the hitter's box. Now we'll bring in Nolan Lotzer. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch on the way. This one in the dirt. Good job from Mason Winkler, keeping it in front of him. So it's Hildebrand at third base, Gates at second, and Luno at first. Pitch from Laumer. Outside, ball 2. A lot on the line in the 7th. Who will come out on top? Angels have a beauty opportunity in front of them. 2-0. Foul tip back into the mid of Mason Winkler for the first strike. Two-one. Well in the dirt for ball 3. Longer battle here against Nolan Lotzer with Caden Laumer, again, who took over back in that previous inning. Pitch on the way. in the dirt. And how about this? An RBI walk. Nolan Lotzer aboard first base, and Kaukauna has a 5-4 lead. Still the bases loaded here with 2 outs, and the walk given up by Caden Laumer.
Number 23, Carter Van Rossum.
So now it'll be Carter Van Rossum. Could they add on some more? A 1-run lead here after the RBI walk for Nolan Lotzer. First pitch. This one tipped back, foul for strike 1. Caden Laumer looks to have a better sequence here against Carter Van Rossum. Making sure that's him in there. Yep. This one sent out shallow right field. Roaming under it is the right fielder. Who didn't see who was out there, but he bobbled it in a one past the third baseman. Martin already 1 to score, 2 in now. And Kaukauna making mistakes for the E9 out in right field. That's right, it was the previous pitcher of Pope out in right who made the error. And it's going to be a costly one.
Number 23, Schwalbach.
In to score was 3. And Kaukauna has a now marginal 8-4 lead against the Doubledays here in the 7th. That's a costly error from Pope out and right. It might come back to bite him. If they can't make up here in the bottom of the 7th. Again, with 2 outs, the Angels a little 2-out rally. So got the error from Pope out and right, and then they chucked it past the third baseman, Martin, trying to get the runner, and here's a high pop-up that hopefully ends the damage. And there's the third baseman, Martin, coming in to make the play for the final out of the inning, but not after Kaukauna adding on plenty of insurance, taking the lead as we are tied 4-4 entering the 7th. And can their defense hold strong for one more inning, 3 outs away from picking up win number 6 on the season? Can they do it? Find out next on Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
However and wherever you want to travel the world, Travel Leaders Discovery can help you get there. Beach vacations, family trips, cruises, romantic getaways, Disney vacations, U.S. travel and business travel. Travel Leaders Discovery, proudly helping families, couples, and businesses explore the world through all-inclusive trips of all kinds. Call them today in Green Bay, Appleton, and Sheboygan to create your memories for a lifetime.
Looking to seal the deal for the Kaukauna Angels as they lead 8-4 as we welcome you back to Koslow Park in the bottom of the 7th. It's number 19, what will be senior next school year, Noah Ziemba for the Angels, taking over what would have been a complete game for Gates, who has had an incredible performance, but thanks to his offense making up for those 2 errors back in the inning, they score 4 runs, 3 off the 2 errors, and they lead 8-4 as we enter the bottom of the 7th. One last chance for the Appleton Doubledays, who had all of it in front of them. And that last inning just was a huge 2 mistakes that were costly, and they're hoping they don't come back to bite them here in the bottom of the 7th. They're 3 outs, the Angels 3 outs away from picking up their 6th win of the summer season. Again, great to have you along. My name's Miles Detroit. My second solo broadcast was Zaleski Sports. Apologize for any of the mistakes or audio-video difficulties, but so glad that you could join me in the game here from Costello Park for American Legion Baseball. Like I've said, a beautiful diamond, great conditions, and a perfect storyline as we enter the bottom of the 7th. Doubledays with one last shot, and they'll start it right here. Hard swinging. Wanted a lot of it was the pinch hitter now Sean Steger. Coming in for Jamison Sieg. Now the 0-1. This one sent to opposite ground, and it's going to get well. And roams to the right fielder, Judas. Actually, should check. Likely not. It was coming in for Ashton Judas was Luno, so I believe it's Luno out and right. So a leadoff single. How about it for the Doubledays? They get Sean Steger aboard first. Now send it to the top of the order with Ethan Winkler. So Doubledays got one aboard. It would be run number 5 and run number 6 on the field. And Ethan Winkler has had an incredible game to this point. Got hit by a pitch twice, but it's been great around the base paths. Hit a single and a stolen base in the first to get things going. So this one's fouled back. That's a 2-1 count to Ethan Winkler. With Sean Steger aboard first base. No outs in the inning. Doubledays trying to crawl back into it. Pitch just missed for ball 3. And if you get Ethan Winkler aboard, you have the 7th runner of White Schleter up next. Meanwhile, there's a pitch inside for strike 2. First full count of the bottom of the 7th, and it's a big one. Angels need out number 1 with already one aboard to start the inning. Here's the pitch. This one fouled off. Again, Ziemba taking over this inning, looking for the save. Up by those 4 runs here in the 7th. But already facing a bit of a threat. No outs in the inning. And one aboard. And the full count pitch. This one well in the dirt. Gets past Van Rossum behind the plate. And now 2 aboard. The game's 7th run coming up to hit. Number 9, Wyatt Schleter. Going to come in for the Doubledays. Looking to provide some damage for the offense. With 2 aboard of Sean Steger at second and Ethan Winkler at first. First pitch from Ziemba. This one in there for strike number 1. Oh, 0-1 to Wyatt Schleter. Pitch on the way. This one fouled away. Right towards the batting cages by the Kaukauna dugout. For strike 2. Ziemba and the Angels defense needs an out number 1. Ziemba sets. 0-2 delivery. This one chopped that, fouled back behind the plate. Count stays at 0-2. Angels are a strike away from getting out number 1. Steger gets a marginal lead over at second. Meanwhile, checking over on the first baseman runner of Ethan Winkler was Noah Ziemba. Still an 0-2. Pitch from Ziemba. This one chased that, sent high and deep to left field. And making the play is Hansen. Or Nolan Lotzer, excuse me, who came in for Hansen. For the first out for the Angels defense. Much needed out that they needed. And they get it here with 2 aboard. And the Doubledays down to their final 6 strikes. Jack Schlueter, Wyatt's brother, will step in now and looks at an inside ball number 1. One-0, pitch from Ziemba. Well in the dirt, it's going to get past Van Rossum, and both on the way with stolen bags will be Sean Steger now to third and Ethan Winkler over to second off the wild pitch from Ziemba. Got past Van Rossum, so now 2 runners in scoring position, but Doubledays still trail by 4 runs. And a 2-0 count to Jack Schlueter. This one shot out to left center, and it's going to get past the center fielder, Schwalbach. And sending it in on the cutoff, and in to score will be both Sean Steger and Ethan Winkler. And the Doubledays cut into the deficit. It's within 2. RBI double for Jack Schlueter. And it's 8-6 Angels. Just the second double of the day for the Doubledays. Just 1 out in the inning. The game-tying run, I believe, of Oscar Crownhart at the plate. Crownhart 0 for 3 on the night, and a big position here. The game-tying run. There's a dribbler to the pitcher, Noah Ziemba. Fires it over to the first baseman, and just able to get the foot on the bag. Otradovic for the second out of the inning. Meanwhile, advancing the runner of Jack Schlueter to third base. And the Doubledays are down to their final out. It's Xander Martin with everything on the line as he looks at strike number 1. Martin 1 for 2 on the night, in a big position all night. 0-1 pitch from Ziemba. This one well in the dirt for ball 1. Will be the biggest position of the game. The game-tying run at the plate of Xander Martin. 1 for 3 on the day. There's one foul back for strike number 2. And the Angels are 1 strike away from doing it. They look to advance to 6-2 on the season. Doubledays trying to stay alive. 1-2, 2 outs. Ziemba from the stretch, sets. Here's the delivery. Outside for ball number 2. Xander Martin stays alive. Again, of the game-tying run at the plate. The right-handed batter's box. And an even 2-2 count. Ziemba, pitch. Here's it. Sent one. Fouled back. Good battle. Martin fouled it back. And staying alive. We'll have another one. Ziemba, 2-2. This one high and away for ball 3. Anything to stay alive, keep the game alive. And a big full count. Loaded scoreboard with 2 outs. Full count pitch, one of the biggest of the night. Ziemba. Pitch on the way. This one inside for ball 4. And a 2-0 walk, and now runners at the corners. And the game-winning run of Brady Pope up to hit. Jack Schlueter at third. Xander Martin at first. Brady Pope sits in the batter's box, looking to take his team to victory. Pitch from Ziemba. This one outside for ball one. For the majority of this game, it has been low scoring, but now 14 combined with the game on the line. Pitch on the way. Outside, ball two. Ziemba needs some momentum and needs a strike. Ziemba 2-0. Pitch on the way. This one a high shot and out of play. Again towards the Kaukauna batter's cage. Much needed strike number one in that at bat. And we'll do another one with Brady Pope and Noah Ziemba. 2-1 pitch. This one below for ball three. A walk would load him up here with 2 outs. And with a lot more tension and drama at the park. Ziemba checks, sets. 3-1. This one fouled back. And we indeed have a full count. The game comes down to this. Will Brady Pope be aboard? Will he score runs, or will it be Ziemba ending this? Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and it's a walk. It'll load him up. No better way to finish this game on a Tuesday night. And head coach Griffin Klein going to come out and talk to his Angels defense. The biggest at-bat of the game to this point will be coming up of Caden Laumer. Travel Leaders Discovery specializes in creating personalized, unforgettable, and stress-free travel experiences for individuals, families, and groups of all sizes. Travel Leaders Discovery is a full-service agency booking beach vacations, cruises, hotel-only and air hotel, Disney, house rentals, business travel, romantic travel, and family vacations anywhere you want to go. Call Travel Leaders Discovery at 833-TL-TRIPS and visit www.tltrips.com. 2 outs, a fresh batter of Caden Laumer with the bases loaded. And the game-winning run at the plate. Pitcher v. pitcher, Ziemba, Laumer, for what could be the ball game. Here's the pitch. This one a dribbler to the third baseman, Moss. He fields it cleanly, fires it to the first baseman, and that will do it. The final score, the Angels get out of it on the defense, and they take it home 8-6 here against the Appleton Doubledays. Appleton leads 3 on board. The bases loaded with a chance to win the game after giving up 4 runs in that top of the 7th. But Kaukauna picks up their 6th win of the season, and Appleton drops to 4-6 on the year. Coming up next is the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll step aside, take a break, quickly break it down, and get you on your way on a Tuesday night. Kaukauna 8, Appleton 6, and a nail-biter from start to finish. You've been listening to Zaleski Sports, powered by our game day sponsors, Travel Leaders Discovery, Amplitel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflatiri, Caffla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflatiri, Caffla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Welcome you back one last time to Costello Park. The final score here on a Tuesday night, the Kaukauna Angels 8, the Appleton Doubledays 6. Kaukauna moves to 6-2 overall in the summer, and Appleton drops to 4-6 on the year. Overall, this game was back and forth, but in total only just one lead change. It started with a Kaukauna 2-0 lead, then that one lead change later in the fourth inning where Appleton had a 4-2 lead. Then Kaukauna able to tie things up 4-4, entering the seventh. They had a 4-run top of the seventh inning for the Angels off the 2 errors. And after a bottom seventh attempt of a surge for the Doubledays, they end up losing 8-6, scoring 2 in the bottom of the seventh. So glad you could join us here on Zaleski Sports for American Legion Baseball. From beautiful Costello Park in Menasha, Wisconsin, this has been a presentation of American Legion Baseball, and I am Miles D. Troy, signing out. You have been listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by our amazing game day sponsors today, Travel Leaders Discovery, Appleton Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. I'll see you in the next one next week Thursday as Kaukauna, first time at home on Zaleski Sports, and it'll be a good game on Thursday. As I see here, they take on at Bay Oregon Field, Kimberly, on Thursday night. We'll see you then on Zaleski Sports. Thank you.